What I was saying, you guys, is those tunnels used to go all. I gotta go film the riot. Okay, the riot police are back, so I'm gonna run back over there and get this stuff on film. I know it's exciting for you guys, but I've been doing this for a month, and so it's basically the same thing over and over. Riot police come, people go a couple blocks, some people get arrested, maybe they'll gas us. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the scooter guy is right next to the van. So, what they're doing right now, just trying to scare people. Most of the people left from that, they weren't running. They're just breaking up the crowd. And then if there's any large pockets of people left. Then they'll get off, but they're not gonna get off.
For no reason, ain't nobody even doing shit, they dumbasses.
That's what's happening?
Yeah, they just coming in and fucking with nobody. We ain't even doing shit.
Yeah, I heard it. It sounded, I was like a block away, but it sounded like it was getting a little rowdy over here. But people were just partying and stuff.
They just playing football.
Yeah.
See? What they doing, playing football, and the police want to come and fuck with us.
They're probably just trying to.
You see that shit? He thought he was gonna get
That's funny. I had 57 people watching the stream while I was in the tunnel over there in the footprint. The minute I start chasing a riot truck, everybody gets off. There's 27 now. That's funny. Even in homogeneous societies, people are sorted by class according to the shade of their skin, even though they all share the same blood. The stream cut out. Why? Oh, that's why? Yeah, that sucks. When did it cut out? Did you guys see the me exploring the building over there in the tunnel, the beginning entrances to the tunnel? Oh. So I'm trying to see if the protesters are going to come back. Everybody went running when the riot van came around. Cut out when you were climbing out. Okay, when I stuck it in my pocket, I must have accidentally pushed something. So my guess is that's probably going to be the last of it tonight, of anything, because there's so few people here now that when it gets down to these numbers, the police just let them hang out, and they don't really have the courage in the small numbers to actually start causing unrest or vandalism or provoking police.
Hey, Drew!
Hurt my hand a little bit when I jumped down into the pit. Is there anything you guys want me to walk over and show you? Streaming Portland for the 4th. Dodger Dog 28th. I don't know. You know, I have not even thought of past the night. I just started a Twitch account today on my walk down here. This is the first time using Twitch or ever live streaming. I'm out of the loop. Is there something that's supposed to be happening on the 4th? Is that going to be a big protest or a big unrest day? I think I see fire. Looks like they're lighting a fire in front of the Justice Center. So there's a little fire. There's got to be some kind of fuel or something because it looks like it's growing faster. I see one guy in the bushes there. Yeah, I still can't believe they shot me in the foot earlier. I think people are planning something big for the 4th. have any real confirmation, just seeing chatter on Twitter. I think that might originally have been from in backlash to a lot of people all over the country were saying that they were going to go liberate Chaz or Chop on the 4th of July. Biker groups and like right-leaning gun groups were claiming that. Yeah, that fire's dying out pretty quick. I don't want to get too close because you can see all these little windows here. They can easily pop out. And as I've experienced tonight, they're perfectly willing to get aggressive with me and shoot me with things. Yeah, that fire's out. Well, I can still see it's burning a little bit. I really want to climb up on that ledge, but I don't want to be there when they open the window and shoot me. That really hurt when they shot me in the foot. I got hurt good. I thought my foot was like going to be all... I thought this, like, it might have been a deep break in the skin and I was bleeding, but that's fine. Just being a wuss, I guess. Oh, we got something going on here. Do I think the police shooting me in the foot is a good thing? That justice for your rioting? Well, I'm not rioting. You might have walking problems in a few years when you do. Thank the Portland police. That's kind of an extreme conclusion. Rise PDX. I think my foot will be gone good tomorrow. It's not that bad. It just hurt pretty good. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Did you get me on film when they shot me in the foot?
I don't know. Oh, when you were over there?
Yeah, I was just walking by. I didn't know they didn't want us on there. Yeah, you got me on there?
Yeah, I got all of it, yeah.
What I'm streaming. What's your stream?
Trey Stewart on Facebook.
Trey Stewart on Facebook?
Yeah.
Cool, I'll have to look up that later, man. Yeah, I asked my stream, because you know how sometimes you look back at your video and it seems different? And I was like, pretty sure they didn't warn me, but they confirmed. They didn't give me any warnings.
Yeah, I got it all.
That hurt, man.
Yeah, I got shot at too. It didn't feel good.
Where'd you get shot?
They shot me in the balls. I got shot right in the wiener when they first came out a little while ago.
That's crazy because somebody else was just saying that. You know the guy with the pole?
He got shot yesterday, yeah.
Somebody was on my
Eric
stream saying he got shot in the penis. So like they aiming for penises?
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, I'll start wearing a cup, dude.
I don't know, that's what I got shin guards and elbow guards and everything, but I should have got a cut today.
Dude, I'm gonna get a cup.
That's the one reason that hasn't happened.
Hey, tell me about this stabilizing device you're wearing. I need to get one. I had doing my first live stream, so people were complaining about my steadiness earlier. My hands are a little shaky.
Osmosis DJI 3 or 4 or something. I don't know. It's like $140 at Bimart.
140?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like full stability and.
Did you say Bimart?
Yeah, and I'm not Bimart.
You meant Best Buy?
Best Buy, yeah.
That's
Sorry,
what I
my
thought.
brain's like.
I was like, man, I usually don't get too technical at Bimart.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that thing's nice, man.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sick.
I have to get one of those.
Yeah, no, it makes it a lot easier.
What
you
kind
can run and stuff with it and it keeps it pretty stable. So.
That's an iPhone?
Yeah.
Which iPhone are you using?
It's like the 10.
The 10? One. That's what I got, the XX Max.
Yeah.
I think 11.
Well, no,
is it 12 out yet? Yeah, that's 11, I think.
Yeah, the 11.
It's got the 3 cameras. All right. So Brian XAOS says he just put a link up for Trey. Is that the guy I was just talking to? You Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just linked your thing here.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah. What's your name?
Villain Phoenix.
Villain Phoenix.
Yeah, at Villain_Phoenix on Twitter.
Villain_Phoenix on Twitter.
The Villain Report on Facebook, and then Villain Phoenix on YouTube. I was at the active shooter this weekend at Chop. I got some crazy footage there.
Oh, really?
My footage is viral. It's on the news. The Seattle Police Department released it.
Oh yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Yeah,
my most recent video on Villain Phoenix YouTube is the full set of my footage I got from that shooting.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, I'll definitely try to find it.
All right, man. Well, how many people you got watching you?
Only like 137 right now.
Right on. Got 35.
We probably saw Woke. We were on Woke earlier.
Yeah. Woke?
Yeah.
I'm new to this, man. This is my first live stream ever.
Woke's on Twitch. It's like a restream platform, and they'll restream like protests.
All right.
They usually have anywhere between like 2,000 to 6,000 or 7,000 people on there.
Do you have to ask them to do it, or they just find you and do it?
They just find it, yeah.
All right, on. Well, if you guys are seeing me on Woke, or if you're Woke people, put me up in there.
Yeah.
Just kind of calling out to your viewers. That's the federal building.
JC.
I was on Woke earlier. That's cool. I don't even know what that is. I'll have to check it out later. I'm seriously learning all this as I go. This is all new to me, doing any of this. Started at the first night of the Portland riots when they looted the mall, the Louis Vuitton store. Can I see your sign? What's your sign say?
You shot a hole through fucking
Ted Wheeler
quarter-inch thick wood, and you're
drinks
shooting
hot piss,
that
hot
shit
cop piss.
at human
Thanks.
fucking beings.
I don't know why that was so hard for me to read that. All right, nothing going on. What do you guys want me to film? I give a shout out to opposition because I'm on them. What's that mean? Thanks for the link, Dodger Dog 28, Twitch Woke. Check that out. Just so again, I'm ignorant to all this. I'm new to it. I didn't even read anything about how to use this. I just downloaded it, signed up, and started streaming. Am I going to be able to see this chat stream later when I go back? Is that saved too? Opposition is hey opposition, I'm shouting out to you guys. I guess I'm on your site right now. That's pretty cool. Yes, you will see the chat. Thank you for telling me. Chat is saved too. Thank you guys. Multi-stream show, mini streams at once. That's cool. I wish I would have learned. I wish I would have been streaming through the active shooter. I don't know if you guys haven't looked at that footage there. I've also got a way ridiculously long video where I had been awake for 48 hours and it's like 44 minutes. It's got all my footage from the shooting event in the middle of it, but it's got me all masked up with glasses on and everything. And it's got me giving my description of what happened and my thoughts on it all. But
Would you like
that's
to
on my
drink
YouTube as
from
well.
a drinking fountain that smells like vomit and mold?
I would not like to do that. That doesn't sound pleasant. These guys are the ones that just ran up to the federal building entrance a couple minutes ago. Look at this. So this guy's on his knee over here at the door of the federal building, and I think he's gonna shoot these guys.
Otherwise, they can't drink anything unless they don't want their moldy water.
She's talking about the moldy water jail cell prison drinking fountains. I see another door open out there. These guys are getting ready to shoot these guys over here because they're getting pretty close to the doors where the Portland City Police are at. So this is the Multnomah County Justice Building. There's a lot of people approaching the building. This is the Multnomah County Justice Building. It's got the Multnomah County Jail in it. The back side of the building is the police department for Portland.
Sergeant Trevor,
And this is the federal
I fucking
building.
asked 4 times now. I'm about to declare this an unlawful assembly in there.
That's what his tap water is like. Image
Sergeant
011.
Trevor.
Moldy and stinky, huh? Drinking fountains of Portland girls. Yeah, I've never understood those outdoor drinking fountains, you know? You see dogs drinking from them a lot, licking all over them. And then you see like, it is what it is. Kill me for saying what I'm saying. You see really, really dirty, like homeless people that haven't bathed and are just covered in filth. You'll see them like putting their mouths like directly on the fountain piece. So I've never understood outdoor drinking fountains. Must be a different era when those things were put in.
A long ass time ago.
Yeah, all the drinking fountains in Portland are gross. I even when I'm like really thirsty, I can't bring myself to get a drink off this. And they have a really little trickle, so you almost have to touch your mouth onto the mouthpiece of the fountain in order to get anything out of it. They're pretty gross. The homeless bathe in them. Yeah, I've seen that too. That felt loud. Unlawful assembly. Well, it was rowdy earlier.
Sergeant Trevor.
They actually they didn't label it an unlawful assembly tonight. They labeled it a riot right off the bat. They jumped straight to riot. But they were dropping a lot. Trying to not cuss too much. A lot of mortars earlier. Like somebody spent a lot of money on fireworks earlier. Mortars are not cheap, and they probably
Where is
at least 100 of them went off.
that we demand gonna come from?
Should I walk up closer to these guys?
I want to hear what Sergeant Trevor has to say.
You can't see it probably. I don't know if you can.
What fucking Chief
But
Lovell has to say.
those guys at the federal building are pretty intently focused on these guys over here.
Bring him out! Bring him out! Bring him out!
Dude, I'm trying to see my hand in the light. It was me jumping down to that pit trying to see the Shanghai tunnel entrances. Stings a little bit. I don't want to get this guy's face too much on here. Tea with honey for my hand. Oh, that's what Hey Rex, the people want to know how you keep your voice when you scream like that every night.
You yell from your diaphragm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Somebody was suggesting you drank a lot of tea and honey.
Yeah. Throat coat. Throat coat. I guarantee it. I swear by it.
Throat coat.
Throat coat with local honey.
That's gonna be some audio clips there. You're creating sound bites for yourself. It's your own fault.
I have honestly.
So this is A-Rex, and she says the way she keeps her voice good every night when she's screaming all night is by throat coat.
It's a tea.
It's
a tea.
She's claiming
Come
it's a
on
tea. Rice PDX says you're very funny.
Oh, thank you. I try. I just try to tell the truth.
Slow down!
In the best way possible.
Slow down!
That's one thing I've been surprised at is there hasn't been any really big crashes during all these downtown because people have been getting their hot rods out. And like some nights when I'm walking home, walking to my car, there have been cars going well above highway speed, just busting through red lights. I'm surprised someone hasn't got hit or somebody hasn't lost control. Uh-oh, going down to 20% battery, going to low battery mode here. I brought my spare battery tonight, but I did not bring a cord for it, so that was smart.
In the chief of police's place, as he's not
44-minute video. Brian XAOS, what's that video you just posted from Chop? Oh, that's my video, isn't it? The explanation of what happened at Chop, and then in the middle of it has my footage in it.
Everything would be fine. That's not what we want.
Rise PDX is saying same name. If that's for me, my Twitter is @villain_Phoenix. My YouTube is villain_Phoenix. My Facebook page, which is not that great, is The Villain Report. And then you guys have my Twitch here.
They know the communities that need help and the areas that they need help in.
So yeah, that 44 minutes, it has a timestamp on the front of it when it starts, and it says where you can jump to watch the footage, but I talked for quite a while and explained what had happened, at least that night. I don't speak very well in it. Again, I was awake for like 44 hours when I made that video. I passed out before I uploaded it, but that active shooter happened when I was getting ready to finish an interview and go to bed, and then I was up for hours for that. Took the person to the hospital. The police had to stay at the hospital outside in the cold for many hours, and then I had some other stuff that I had to do up in that area that day, but I couldn't go to bed. Anyways, the video is what it is. It's got lots of views. I would have thought that it would have went way viral. Then again, it's a long... Anyways, I guess I'm starting to get tired because I'm rambling. Here, I got the YouTube link. Appreciate it. BTS Twitter account. What's that mean? A crawling chaos. The BTS Twitter account.
You just fucking kicked it out because somebody's looking
thanks for shouting my video out, Brian XAOS. The more entertaining video of that situation without all the talking, and a shorter video, it's only like 9 minutes, is the most recent video on my Villain Phoenix YouTube. It's just all my footage from the night of the shooting. And there's also a fight video on there that happened, just a minor fight. The black gentleman was attacking like another gentleman that was mentally handicapped. He was, I think, breaking candles at one of the George Floyd memorials in the CHOP because he was crazy. He was mentally unfit. Oh, look at that guy just provoking. He's walking in front of there on the sidewalk. He's asking for it. Dude, he's gonna get shot. He's trying to.
And then we have teachers in Seattle that are literally making 35, 40 grand a year in order to.
Wait, is that fight video?
How do you keep doing this all the fucking
Yeah, the crazy guy was breaking candles, I think, at the one of the memorials, one of the shrines in CHOP, and then a guy came up and started beating the snot out of him. But the mentally handicapped guy kept provoking it. Like, some guys carried him away and broke up the fight, and then he came back into CHOP a little bit later and started provoking the same guy, and he got beat up some more. And he was actually asking the guy to spit on him and to beat him up. He wasn't mentally well. Tried to look up your Twitter, and it was BTS K-pop.
I want to see disciplinary records of every single police officer.
Some things I've noticed is sometimes it's hard for people to find my Twitter on an Android phone, but the screen name is Beautiful Villain, and the handle is @villain_Phoenix. I don't know if you're talking about me when you found K-pop and BTS. What does BTS stand for? BTS. I don't know what that means. What's BTS?
I want to see
Underscore, my bad.
officer
What does BTS mean?
kills another person in another county and then comes to my county and acts like their record is clean.
Better than
I want to
sex.
fucking see that
It
shit.
should be just as transparent as fucking doctors.
I want to see. I want to have a blacklist of police officers who are never able to police anywhere in the United States today. That's very fucked up. I want to have that. And I know that a majority of the people that stand here with me want those things as well. And until we get those things, we're going to be fucking out here every goddamn night. It's clear as day. Even though it's nighttime, the things that we want, we have made it more than clear. We want to see $50 million.
Well, is there anything you guys want me to go video right now?
I want to see $50 million defunded from the state police. I want to see that money put into black and brown
Probably
communities.
gonna call it here in a little bit. I might walk over and film a little bit about at the Apple Store and
out
the
of their neighborhoods due to redlining. I want to see it
Pioneer
put
Mall.
into
I'll show you guys
schools
the artwork
that
over
have
there.
had money taken away from them because of the privatization of education. I want to see it put into our prison industrial complex to help get the kids who've been placed there from their school resource officers out of there. That's where that fucking money needs to go.
So, I'll show you guys what's going on. So, I'm at the intersection of. Oh, we just peppered somebody again. This is just a few pepper bullets. I can't even see anybody close enough to where they did it.
Please do not point your gun at me!
Anyways, that was nothing. So I'm facing east right here. I'm at the intersection of Main and 3rd Street. That is the Justice Center. I'm facing south. This is the middle of the 3 parks. That's where the wagon wheel statue is. This is facing north. That is the base and the fountain of the elk statue that is no more. Facing, I guess that's west. I think I just said north. Northwest is the Lonsdale Park. That pylon in the center there has a statue of an old-timey war guy with a gun in his hand. That's the Oregon Volunteer Infantry Memorial. And this is facing north. Down, those people down you see there are playing ball in the street. This is northeast. That's the federal building. I'll walk through here and just show you what's going on. I'm gonna walk down to this corner and then I'll walk through the park. So there's not very many people here. I'd say between 30 to 50 people, probably 30 to 40. Oh man, I'm walking by them. I wish I could get close over there because I want to see if I can find the bullet they hit me with, man. Yeah, a good little souvenir. It's a really horrible video, but on my Villain Phoenix YouTube, if you look, there's I don't remember what it's called. I think I tried to clickbait it and named it something like, can you tell the difference between smoke and tear gas? It's not a very good video, it's way long, but if you scroll through it, you can see all the different projectiles they shoot at us, the rubber bullets, the smoke canisters and everything. So these guys are playing ball here in the street. That's actually pretty cool to see a group of guys just having a good time playing ball.
Quarterback, I'm safety.
So this is the intersection of Southwest 3rd and Salmon, facing this is east right here. That's like an old-timey bathroom. They don't open those bathrooms anymore in Portland. It's a bunch of those old buildings that used to be park bathrooms, but they're never open. There's not very many people out here. Hey, shout out your stream for me again so I can look it up later.
Halo Space or Philip Sitbon.
Halo, the word, and then space, the word?
Yeah, so
one word?
it's facebook.com/Halo Space with a D.
Okay.
Because, of course, somebody has the other one.
Cool, I'll check you out later, man.
Cheers.
See ya. So this is the volunteer infantry statue podium. They pretty much spray paint this thing every day. And then the veterans come out here almost every day and scrub it all off. Come in here in the mid-morning and it'll be all clean again. Veterans really care about this statue. So, sorry I can't show you it right now very well, but you can see it. It's kind of like an old-timey prospector looking guy. He's got like a gold miner floppy cowboy hat thing on, you know? All right, so that's about all that's gonna happen tonight. There's not enough people here to foment anything. There's not going to be that much unrush. You might see a couple more people get too close and get peppered, but that's about it. Is there anything else you guys want to see in this area? I'll look at it for you real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to walk over towards the Apple Store and the Pioneer Square Mall to where the original Riot Center really happened on the 29th of May. So, I'm a vet and I don't care about it. Statues, idols, etc. are part of the problem. You know what? One thing I have is that you can't decide what things mean to other people, because if we're all policing each other's speech and their thoughts, it just becomes a tyranny. There's a video of me interviewing a man at the George Washington statue that got toppled in Portland. I went there the next day. I was there that night shortly after they did it. Fuck your colonized. This is the Multnomah County Courthouse. I have been here many times because they like to give me parking tickets. Your legal system is a fraud. Justice don't lie. Justice don't live here. That's what it says. But so I've got that video of that older white guy that I'm interviewing at the George Washington statue. They got toppled the night before. Went back in the daytime to get some bright light pictures. But said he was a conscientious, I can never say that word ever, no matter how many times I try, objector during the Vietnam War. He said he got a little bit of flack for it from his family, but he went through it. He said and he was crying at the statue. He said the reason why it bothered him so much that they were toppling these statues was he kind of described the forcefulness in the movement. Basically, the final point he made was that he liked America. What he loves about America so much is it's a place that you can be a dissenter, and it's a place that you can object, and you're able to do that here. And he says that it's no longer safe to be a dissenter or an objector. You see that a lot. People are getting beat up or mobbed for not agreeing with the mob, you know. And so symbols mean different things to different people. Just because it's something that doesn't matter to you or something that is a sign of hatred to you, some people don't see it that way. And we can't just go forcing everybody to see our own way, you know? It's going to be a horrible place in the world if everybody started doing that. Thought patrol, man.
You got my text about my brother, right?
Rest. Hope you make it out this weekend. Yeah. So what's today? Third is when's the 4th? So today's the 3rd. It's Friday now. So the 4th is Saturday. Yeah, I'll go filming. You guys, if you want, send stuff to my Twitter. That's the thing that I keep up on the most. And let me know if there's places. I'll be around Portland this weekend. So if you hear anything you think you might want to see live stream, let me know. I'll head there. Yeah, it's kind of the whole thing around Antifa. He's talking about, isn't the mob, aren't they dissenters and objectors, the protesters? So I'm here at the intersection of Yamhill and 4th Avenue, Southwest Portland. Nothing much happened over there. This is one building of the Pioneer Square Mall, and this is another building of Pioneer Square Mall. They're connected by a floor that goes underneath the street. And this is the Apple store. So these have been shut down for quite a while, since at least the riot. I don't know if they had opened up yet, since I know Apple had opened after the corona, before the riot happened. They've been shut down since. So this is the entrance everybody broke into and started looting the Louis Vuitton store, just because that's the first store that was in there. And I think one of the only stores that was able. I'm gonna pop up my hand up here and see if you can get anything. I won't be able to see it. But they go in there, the Louis Vuitton, and looted the hell out of that place. And then here's the Apple store. I see they just covered it up with like 10 or 12 foot high plywood. I'll get some of this art. Some of the art is not good, but some of it's pretty good. I kind of like that little purple woman there. What's that, Blind Justice she got with a sword? I don't know what that means with the sword. It's probably something to think about for a while. That's pretty good tagging in there as far as tagging goes. Some of these guys are pretty good artists. But, so as far as you were talking about, aren't the protesters objectors? But yeah, they'll allow objection as long as it's their objection. But it can be pretty sketchy if like somebody was a far right person, or if somebody was like got labeled a Proud Boy and they showed up there being peaceful and trying to document or just trying to be present. You get pretty violent pretty quickly, you know. They're for their dissent. Like Antifa is against other fascism, but they're kind of their own fascist. Like they're forcing things they're trying to get control of things by use of force and dominating people into their ideology, which is pretty much the heart of fascism. Some people say fascism by definition is only a right-wing thing, like you have to be right-wing to be fascist. But I think that the communist dictatorship regimes that have happened throughout the world, as far as their negative aspects and the stamping out of personal freedoms, seem pretty similar to the right-wing fascist dictatorships that we've seen throughout history. There's a bunch of posters of all these guys. Garner. I know these are prints, but somebody drew these, so some people are pretty good artists, man. These are pretty good. Black and white George Floyd here. It's funny. Apple came out and they put all these wood up, and they rolled it with black paint the first day, and they weren't even done rolling with the black paint before people started choosing to do all their tagging here. It's kind of had a cool aesthetic. There's a black background than all the other buildings. A crawling chaos. Do I think who is forcing things? Well, that's what everybody says. I know you're making it on the right and the left, Brian, but that's something. So you hear that in right circles a lot. The left people will say, "Oh, but that wasn't real communism," and then the right will say, like, "Well, every time there's a system of communism, they claim there's a horrible genocide and horrible atrocities happen," and then people say, "Oh, well, that wasn't real communism." I mean, at some point, you have to ask the question. And I'm just saying ask the question, not draw a conclusion necessarily, but the question is if every time that there's a communist government happens and it turns into like a human dystopia, maybe communist governments just don't work, maybe that form of government just enables tyranny to happen, Maybe it creates a vacuum of power to where dictators who want to tyrannize rise to the top in it. All right, unless anybody else wants me to go film something for them. Actually, there was a cool little painting on the other side of this building. I'll go see if it's still there. I'll show that. But after that, I think I'm gonna end it for the night, call it a night, and not film myself walking to my car. Yeah, did they have Antifa? How did you know it was Antifa? Disabled, been conned. Antifa isn't all what you think. Well, I've actually seen Antifa in person at the protests, and I've been threatened by people that have told me that they're part of Antifa and groups, and I haven't experienced good from Antifa. Fascists have IDs. Some way Antifa picks. I'm wearing this mask. It's making me breathe too deeply. Antifa based on their actions and other assumptions. Well, in Portland protests, you kind of pick out the Antifa guys sometimes because they all dress the same. They stay in big groups and they'll openly say that they're Antifa. That's I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me, man. Tell me what Antifa is if it's not something bad. So this is kind of cool little art here. Whatever your political perspectives are, it's just kind of cool. I don't know what it means. Got like a old-timey Paul Revere guy there, the sword and the 1494 graves. What does that mean, 1494? Do you guys know what that means? Your Constitution doesn't serve 1494. What is that number? It's not Christopher Columbus. That's 1492. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Stolen down there. Metallica does suck. Anarchists can be anti-fascists. In fact, anybody in America should be anti-fascist because it's not America to be yeah, that's actually true. I don't think in the way you're saying it, Rise PX. They just put this extra little out here, and I think there was a pretty good painting on the inside of there. It's too bad. But yeah, that's why I think it's kind of silly to say you're anti-fascist. It's kind of like say I'm pro-breathing. I think everybody should be breathing. Like, yeah, everybody agrees with that. Like, I'm sure there's an infringe on everything, but I think you'd be hard pressed to find an American. I'm sure there are some, but maybe hard pressed to find many Americans that are pro-fascist. So the fact that there's this giant group that are just like proclaiming themselves pro-fascist It's kind of weird because everybody's kind of against pro-fascist, just like almost everybody is disgusted by what happened in the George Floyd killing. I know there's, as I just said, extremes on everything. That's a cool little pin, like cursive like thing. It's unique. That's cool. Black women inspire me. Looks like it had the potential to be good. Looks like chalk art. Was not that great. All right, that's about it. Look at that. Sephora unboarded their building up. They've been boarded up for quite a while. Might be a sign of economy proving things come into better safety. So I'll read through some of these tweets or these chats. Yeah, laugh out loud Sephora. But it's just, when you walk around the city and you see certain things, and you kind of keep an eye on certain things. Like it'll be interesting to see once they start taking the boards off of this mall. I don't know how long that'll be, man. All right, you guys, I'm gonna call it a night. If you guys want me to video things, I'm assuming tomorrow's Friday night. There's been a little bit increase in the anarchy. And when I use the word anarchy or anarchist, I'm describing behavior. And it's not necessarily a negative or positive judgment. I'm not talking about people that claim to be anarchists. I'm talking about people that are acting against law. They're acting lawless. What's this guy doing? But anyways, there's been a lot more anarchy the last couple days in Portland, and I expect tomorrow, being Friday night, that something larger will happen again. So I'll be out somewhere tomorrow. But if you see any events that are coming up, tweet them out to me at my Twitter, and see if I can go check them out. Anarchy basically means no law. The pop culture anarchy, when you see people getting these tattoos or spray painting it on a building or getting the anarchy shirt, I actually have the anarchy shirt, they are not actually true to the form of anarchy. Anarchy basically means no rulers. Rules, yes, no rulers. So it means like people govern themselves and nobody rules over them. Like anarchist communities in theory could happen, and everybody decides on a set of rules, and people just go about their lives without being ruled. I'm kind of an idealistic anarchist in that point of view, because I'm very rebellious, and I don't like people being in charge of me or telling me what to do. I don't like having a ruler. Like I don't vote. I might change that in the future, I don't know. But I don't vote because I feel like I'm voting to choose a ruler, and I don't want a ruler, so I don't want to take part in picking one. But it might be just an immature political stance for me. I don't know, it might change. But anyways, in theory, anarchy is a form of society to where nobody is ruled by another person. But I think that in reality, how anarchy would work out is that violent men that are dangerous and don't care about morality would form gangs, and they would become the rulers oppressively. And so the idea on the right is that you keep the smallest government possible in order to prevent groups of violent men from oppressing everyone, but you let everybody do what they want to do in general. Keep the government as small as possible. So that's the main core of the right. It's just small. That's why they want small government. They want no government, but they believe that in the absence of government, tyrannies will rise up, like you saw in the Old West, where gangs of bandits would come and sweep through towns and demand that they pay them and give them tributes. I'm ranting. Big event at the Justice Center and the 4th, tomorrow and the 4th. Bye. All right, Rise PDX, you have a good night, man, or woman, I don't know. The far right, that's extremely wrong. You're not ranting. You're answering questions. Humans are not evolved yet for anarchy. You know what? There's this crazy creationist guy that's nuts. Like, I grew up in fundamentalist Christian. My mom was a crazy single mother, so she was unstable, so we'd go to one church and not go to church for a while, then go to another church, and she was like an emotional Christian. And so I grew up being taught like creationism and 6,000-year-old Earth, and Noah's Ark had the dinosaurs, not the dinosaurs on it, but it had literally every animal on it. And actually in my mid-20s, I went to a Bible college intending to be a pastor. I lost my faith there. I believe in God, but I don't find evidence to believe the claims of any one particular religion. But anyways, so this crazy creationist guy, his name is, what is his name? Kent Hovind. He's nuts. He's crazy. He's Looney Tunes. But anyways, he went to jail for like 10 years for some dinosaur park down in Florida, I think. He was doing tax evasion. He was a tax dissenter, which I'm actually in favor of. But why am I talking about Kent Hovind? My mom, Kent Hovind. I don't know. I was talking about that. I just lost my train of thought. They're right. Answer questions. Someone answer me something. Ask me something. Humans are not evolved. That's why I went on that. So Kent Hovind, he goes around and gives his creationist thing, and he does his little rants, and he thinks he's hot shit, and he thinks he can disprove anybody. So every once in a while he'll debate somebody, and he debated this one guy that was an atheist one time, and this guy was kind of he kind of seemed on the spectrum a little bit. He didn't have really good social skills, so he's an awkward talker, but he had his beliefs down. And the atheist was debating Ken Ham, the creationist guy, and that's one of the things the atheist guy said. He says he thinks, and I might be mixing up stories, it might be a different atheist, but he was saying that it might be a completely different atheist. Anyways, he was saying the same thing, that humans will take another 1,000 years of evolution before socialism and communism and equality and like true monetary and material equality could actually happens between humans. So it's I don't know if I believe that or not, but that's definitely an idea that floats around down there. And that 10% battery. The idea on the right is not that I'm sorry. That's not right. Thought about rule. Hey, crawling chaos. What are you saying that the right is, and how are you saying that my idea of the small government being the right is wrong? Yeah, Kent Hovind is mad. That's a good description of him. He's like, one time, you'll see that personality type that he has every once in a while in a person, and for some reason they always have like these weird food things they do. And one time Kent Hovind was doing this video after he got out of prison, and he was trying to tell you how to make a sandwich that'll cure you of any cold or something, and like you put like jelly, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a whole bunch of weird things. I can't think of what it was. It might have been like jelly and pickles and peanut butter and just a whole bunch of weird things you wouldn't put together in a sandwich. It looked disgusting. And then he put his hand, like the palm of his hand, on the whole sandwich and smashed it all together like a little kid. And it was just weird. The dude's that's the perfect description for him. He's mad, like a Mad Hatter. Greetings from Belgium. Was interested to hear the balanced coverage. Have a good sleep. So are these videos, again, I'm ignorant to all this. I just opened my Twitch up tonight for the first time, downloaded it, opened up an account, and then started streaming my first time live streaming. Are these videos that I take, that people are telling me that they're saved, are viewers allowed to access the video later? I haven't thought about Kent Hovind for a while. The guy was Looney Tunes. But the part of me, like I got sucked into his videos and all his, like, he's got all these newspaper clippings, and he like claims that there's like dinosaurs still in the jungles of the Congo today, and there's all these Looney Tunes stuff. And I think people get into that stuff, and like flat Earth and the moon was fake, and like you want to simplify things and you want to answer to everything, you know. And if Kent Hovind can convince me that the dinosaurs are still alive, or that the Earth only lasted 6,000 years, or that if all I have to do is just believe some certain thing, that everything was going to go all right and I can go to cake heaven, like if he could really convince you of that and it was true, you know, you'd want it, you know. So I think that's why people get sucked into those. But I watched his videos for a long time. It's like, this guy's an idiot, but he thinks he's so right, and he's got all these like little tidbits of information. And so I don't know, what's he's not something that's going to convince many people, though. He's a Looney Tunes. Yeah, well, I hope it saved it. I like to be able to watch my secret knowledge is super seductive. Yeah, I think that's the whole thing that the Christians talk about, is the dangers of the Gnostics. The Gnostics is the movement of like secret knowledge. Like in Portland, there's like one of those Thelema cults, the sex cult. It's based off of like Aleister Crowley's teaching. There's a Thelema temple here in Portland. But if you go in some of the goth communities, like a goth dance event or a goth music event or something, you see people that run around that crew, and if you talk to them, they'll mention the sex cult. This is Pioneer Square here. This is the Umbrella Man statue. There is the flag's down. I wonder if they just took it down for the night. Usually they leave those up, I think. I wonder if the protesters ended up taking it down. The rope's still up there, so I think probably not. And that's one of the Pioneer Square courthouse. Have any of you, so I'm going to throw out a name here, it's very divisive, but have any of you watched the Bible series by Jordan Peterson, where he like goes through from the beginning of the Bible and examines it in a psychological perspective, like what are the psychological significance of the mythology and the messages that are embedded in those stories? I thoroughly enjoyed that series he did. It was like, it really helped me enjoy the Bible, because I find a lot of value in the Bible. I grew up with it for one thing, but I also find a lot of wisdom in it. But who was it recently? A quote. I remember who it was. I can't quote him right now, but he was mentioning that the story of religions, you know, they have all these fantastical stories, and you're supposed to be seeking truth, and that religion is supposed to be leading you to the truth, but then you have to like swallow all these stories that no reasonable person should be believing in as truth at the start. So how can you be seeking truth when the first step is to like believe things that seem like lies. I know I'm probably divisive here if any of you are really religious watching this or fundamentalist Christian, but because I used to believe that stuff, man. I used to believe everything was literal, and a snake was talking to Adam and Eve, a snake was opening its mouth and talking, But anyways, Jordan Peterson examined those stories in a way that I was able to enjoy the things that I find good with the Bible without feeling like I was betraying my intellect. So he kind of like spliced the meaning out of them and showed them in a light to where it didn't make the people that valued those stories or maybe even the people that wrote those stories out to be unthinking cavemen. But if you guys ever get a chance and you're into that kind of thing or interested in it, Jordan B. Peterson, he's got his own YouTube channel and his Bible series. I found it very valuable. Pastafarian here, flatulent gonad. Speaking your point of view is crucial. So you are still religious or just spiritual. I don't like the term spiritual because I think that is just woo-woo, and I found that when people say that they're spiritual, that I'm pretty much going to start hear a bunch of woo-woo that doesn't make sense. I think it's a way for them to, I don't know. I think it's a term that just tells me that a bunch of woo-woo is going to come, a bunch of nonsense is going to come my way, But I believe in God. I believe that there's meaning to life, and as far as I've tried to find a philosophical underpinning of what God is, I think God is meaning. And I think that universal desire for meaning in the heart of man is a desire for God, whatever that is. I kind of like the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. It was a book written by Carl Sagan, and there's a scene, this alien life form sends this code to Earth, and they decode it, and they built this big machine. Jodie Foster gets in it. It turns out to be some kind of like traveling dimensional thing. And anyway, she goes to this like beautiful Vincent van Gogh blurry tropical beach planet, and then an image comes to her that's all blurry, and it gets more crisp as it gets closer to her, and it ends up being her dead father. And he talks to her, and she says, she asked the guy in her father's form who he is, and he said that they've been contacting Earth for millions of years, and it's going to be billions of more years before they're able to even comprehend what they are. And I kind of think of God in that way a little bit. I think that everything is under control, and there's a purpose to all this, and it's all gearing towards good, even the pain and everything. And I believe that we don't have the ability to comprehend what God is, but I do believe that God's there. And I'm leery for people that start telling me that God is this person, and he did this thing at this time, and he has these finite attributes. Like in the Muslim religion, in Islam, they claim that Muhammad, he was a prophet in their religion, not God, but they claim that he flew on a Pegasus to the moon and chopped the moon in half, and that's why you only see one side of the moon. And that sounds crazy, right? Nobody would actually believe that. But I was at a bar a couple years ago, and I ended up sitting next to this Muslim guy, and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in chatting it up and hearing your point of view from your religion. I don't know that point of view very well. And then he starts telling me that story, and I can tell he's dead serious that he believes that it was literal. And so I kind of like stop in my tracks, and I'm like, you believe that this is literal? And he said, well, yeah, and he assumed that I was a Christian because I was white, and at that point I had lost my Christian faith. But he's like, well, you Christians have stories in the Bible that are crazy too, and you believe those? And I was like, no, I don't believe those. And anyways, so when people start telling me that there are very finite, definite attributes about God that require evidence and reason but have no evidence or reason for those, I'm very leery. So I try to lean away from the woo-woo, but I also try to lean away from trying to claim that I know things that I don't. And while I'm very firm that I believe in God, and I think I could argue that with philosophy, I don't know very much about what God is other than meaning. That's what I believe. If my channel is above 1,000 subs, yeah, well, it'll probably be a while before I get 1,000 subs. Is a young, good audience though. Caw. Worth backing stuff up somewhere before Twitch removes it. So upload my Twitch to YouTube afterwards. Yeah, I think I see, like, there's this one guy that was doing his live streams. A couple of the people that I saw doing live streams in Chop that live streamed me. I was looking for their videos to see if I could watch my own footage, and they had their stuff uploaded to different places. $30 or $60 or something? All right. There are ways to multi-stream too. Yeah, I saw some, like, one guy, Concrete Reporting, up in Chop. He was streaming on several different platforms at once. All right, guys. I'm getting really cold and tired and hungry. There's nothing else to see, and my battery's probably less than 5% right now, so I'm gonna call it a night. If you guys want to follow me, this is my first live stream. I'll be doing more of them. Definitely check out my videos from the live active shooter at Chop. So I'm on Twitter at villain_Phoenix, normal spellings, at villain_Phoenix. On YouTube, I'm Villain Phoenix. And on Facebook, I don't have much of a thing there, but I'll try to learn how to live stream there. But my page on Facebook is The Villain Report. All this is pretty new to me. And then my sometimes on Android, for some reason, Android phones have a hard time finding me on Twitch. I just don't, or not Twitch, but Twitter. I just don't come up on there. And my screen name currently is Beautiful Villain. And it's at villain_Phoenix is the handle. But you guys follow me and check me out, and I'll be probably live streaming again tomorrow. I'm sure something's going down tomorrow, being Friday night, and so good night and farewell. Well, let me ask real quick before. Crawling Chaos, what do you mean by that? You say that explains like they can't follow me or find me because I have an underscore. I've had people in front of me on their phones, on their Android, and type it out perfectly and search it, and for some reason it doesn't come up in the search results. Yeah, but that's just because you didn't type the underscore. Yeah, it's just weird. I will be right next to somebody on the phone. They'll type my thing out perfectly, and it's usually an Android phone, and it just doesn't come up. I think I might have got shadow banned a little bit because when I first started tweeting the Portland riots, I was getting thousands of views on my stuff, and I think I was putting my videos up on Twitter at the time, and then something happened, and the next day, I think I expressed some kind of opinion. But anyways, the next day I was doing the exact same things and the exact same kind of visceral videos I was only getting ones of views. It went from thousands of views to ones of views. So I wonder if I might have gotten shadow banned in some way that explains why people have a hard time finding me on Android phones sometimes. I don't know. That might be just conspiracy theory. Hey man, how you doing? You snuck up on me. Yeah. Well, okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to call it a night. Good night. I hope to see you on my platform. Shout me out. You have a good night and stay safe. If you guys are out protesting, stay safe, man. I can't say it enough. Like, I've seen even people that are leftists inside of the leftist groups, when they get, and then they'll say some wrong thing, and then somebody will get the impression that they might be like some kind of right-wing plant or troll or something, or I've seen leftists get accused of being a Proud Boy, and I've seen people get hurt. So all of you that are going out to these protests, just remember your safety. Keep an eye on the people around you, even if you believe the same things of the people that are around you. If they're like claiming that they kill fascists and stuff and provoking violence, remember that if they are going to attack people, they're probably going to attack a lot of different kinds of people. So anyways, I don't know why I did that disclaimer. Probably because that guy just scared me, sneaking up on me. But you guys have a good night. Good night. How do I stop there? There we go, end.